Joined to my right by Mr. Scott Graves, crew chief of the number 19 Joe Gibbs racing car, Daniel Suarez, and to his right, Steve DeSouza, executive vice president, XFinity development for Joe Gibbs Racing. A little bit of history today. Daniel earned his first career NASCAR XFinity Series win here at Michigan International Speedway, becoming the first Mexican-born driver to capture a NASCAR National Series victory. As many of you know, Daniel is a graduate of both the NASCAR Drive for Diversity program as well as the NASCAR Next program. And he has accomplished a long list of accolades since joining NASCAR in 2011. He was the first Mexican driver to win the NASCAR XFinity Series Sunoco Rookie of the Year award, finishing 5th in the championship standings last year. He is the first foreign-born driver to lead the points in any of the 3 NASCAR National Series, topping the NASCAR XFinity Series standings for 6 consecutive weeks. And as you know, he is the current points leader in the NASCAR XFinity Series, and this win locks him into the chase. So I will start first with Mr. Scott Graves. We saw an amazing last few laps. Would like you to walk us through what was going through your mind and what you thought your driver was going to do, given his interest in winning today's race.
I knew he was motivated. Knew we had a really good car all day, coming back through the field the way we did, and I wasn't sure, looking at 10 to go. I mean, Kyle had such a big lead out front. I knew we had to get by the 2 and the 20 and all those guys quickly, and just I think the way he set them up, went by, got them both in one sweep there on the front stretch. That move there probably set him up to be able to get to the 18 and actually get there at the end. So pretty impressive drive for sure. It was fun to watch, fun to be a part of. Just really proud of what he did there.
Thank you, Steve. I know you're answering 75 texts. Very good. But I was wondering what overall you're feeling right now, given the historical moment in front of us.
Well, first, what a list of accomplishments. We just thought he was a driver. So. and we saw this in Daniel, and obviously we're so excited. And to have Scott come on, we were hoping he would bring the maturity he has brought, and Daniel has really grown to that form of racing and mentorship. And today was a long time coming, but we expected it would happen at some point. And again, this was just such a great run for a whole lot of reasons. He had some mechanical problems he had to fight through, got that penalty, and then to pass Kyle, one of the best drivers in NASCAR, on the last lap to get it done, makes a big statement for him. We're proud, obviously, of all of our 3 teams. They work so closely together. So for today to come out the way he did, we're very, very proud of him and all the accomplishments, all the people that support him. Of course, Siarez, Toyota, everybody at Joe Gibbs Racing, Juniper, all the people that got behind Daniel to want to help him in his dream. And obviously, he's pursuing it with a passion, and he's checking some big boxes here.
Thank you, Steve. I'll actually open it up to the media now for questions for Mr. Suarez. We'll start with Pete Pistone. We'll then go over to Reed and then to Bob.
Pete Pistone from MRN.com and SiriusXM NASCAR Radio. Daniel, congratulations. We've talked to you in this room, all of us probably, about how many times you felt you were so close to winning, so close to winning. How did you keep coming back, and how did you compartmentalize that? And what went through your mind the minute you realized you won this race today?
Well, first of all, I have no very good voice right now, but I want to thank everyone in Joe Gibbs Racing, Scott Graves, Steve DeSouza for all the great support. Steve, since I moved to this family, he's been a huge support, not just in the racetrack, but out of the racetrack as well. And Scott, he's been super helpful to me this year. I think I've been getting more mature in the last races. And understanding a little bit more about how to close the deal. He helped me a lot to make that last step. And overall, we had one of the best race cars out there. And after that payroll penalty, I was just mad. I don't think I talked on the radio for 30 minutes or more time. I was just disappointed with myself. And And I just feel like we went through too many challenges through the race. We had some issues with the clutch, and it was very difficult for me to leave my box once we were doing the pit stops. Actually, on the green flag pit stop, the car shut off, and I had to restart the car, and then they helped me to push the car. So we went through so many different things, problems to overcome in the race, and pretty much everything was thanks to all these guys for never give up and for unbelievable race car. When I was able to went through the field all the way until 5th in that way, I say, man, we can have a shot here, and then the clutch happened. So seemed like it was a lot of little details that were saying, man, maybe today is not the day, but I was just disappointed, and I was pushing hard, and thanks God and all these guys, we made it happen.
All right, over to Reed, and then we'll go to Bob, Jessica, and Lee.
Reed Spencer with NASCAR Wire Service. Daniel, just like to know what you were thinking on those last 10 laps after you passed Elliott for second place, chasing Kyle. I think at one point with about 5 or 6 to go, you hit traffic, lost a couple of tenths. Did you still at that point think that you were going to be able to catch him before the finish? And also, what has Kyle meant to you in terms of the conversations that you've had with him on a fairly regular basis in terms of his mentoring and his help in getting you to this point?
Well, definitely Kyle has been super helpful to me, not just in XFinity Series, but as well in the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series. Since last year, he started to support me a lot, to give me information, advice, and so many different kind of information just to try to be a little bit more prepared. Last year, I went to more than 80% of the racetracks for first time, and he was super helpful. And this year hasn't been the exception. He's been super helpful as well, and we share a lot of information. And he's just been a good friend. I can call it like that. I can call it a good friend. So for me to be able to do that with him and race him hard, he went to the victory lane, and he told me that he was very proud of the way that I did it, clean and aggressive. I knew that I was going to be able to have a shot. I finished second to him already a couple times, so I wasn't great in the corner 1 and 2, but I was unbelievable good in the 3 and 4. So I knew that I needed to risk a little bit more. I went sideways a few times when I was in 5th in the corner 1 and 2, and when I was behind the 18, I was just driving that thing as hard as I could. It was either finish first or finishing the wall, I guess. But I don't know. The car was unbelievable. The car was really, really strong, and we were able to make it happen. Thank you.
We'll go to Bob, then Jessica, and then over to Lee.
Bob Pockers, ESPN. Daniel, you talk about closing the deal. How much of it is getting the car to be able to close the deal, and how much of it is having, I guess, the mentality of either winning or running into the wall? I mean, how much of it is will and how much of it is mechanical?
I think a lot is, to put all the pieces together. I feel like in so many different races, we've been super strong, and for one or another reason, doesn't happen in the end. We finish close, or we miss an adjustment or something like that happened. But today, I feel like a lot of different things went through our way, and even with that, we were able to be super strong. So I feel that made me a little bit more strong on my mind, and that helped me a lot for sure. But the race car, like I said, the race car was unbelievable, and all this is thanks to everyone in Juggy Racing for all the hard work that they do back in the shop, Coach Gibbs for all the great support in and out of the racetrack, GD Gibbs, Coy Gibbs, a very good friend of mine as well, my little friend Ty Gibbs, that I have a lot of fun working with him and on the go-karts and stuff. So it's just a great group of people, a family that I can call a family, that has been helping me to get to this point right now.
All right, we'll go to Jessica, then Lee, and then back to Kenny.
Jessica Ruffin, NASCAR.com. Congratulations, first of all. Huge win for you and for the sport as a whole. With you being the first Mexican-born driver to win a national series race in NASCAR, what do you think that will mean for the sport going forward and for young drivers like you with diverse backgrounds who want to make it in racing?
Honestly, I haven't think about that yet. But for me, it's great to be here. Definitely, it's a great opportunity that Joe Gibbs Racing gave me, the Drive for Diversity NASCAR, when I moved to the U.S. 5 years ago without an opportunity. And for me to now try to help some other young drivers from Latin American drivers, not just from Mexico, but from everywhere in Latin America, to come to this great sport is great. To be able to be an example, that's something that we can help to bring more people. For me, is great. So I'm just very proud to be Latin American driver, and I'm very proud to be with Joe Gibbs Racing, a great family and great organization.
All right, we'll go to Lee, and then to Kenny, and then Chris Knight, please.
Lee Spencer, Motorsport.com. Scott, how did winning the championship last year help prepare you for this run with Daniel?
Last year we learned a lot about consistency, finishing races first, having to deal with adversity. There were a lot of situations we were in last year where, we'd get ourselves in trouble in a race and have to battle our way back. So, things like that, this working with Daniel this year, I think, you've seen a lot of consistency from our team getting the points lead. He listens to everything and soaks it all in and learns and does it immediately. So it's, like I say, it's great to work with him. And I can take, what I feel like what I've learned in the past, and we're able to put it out there and make it work on track. And with what we did today, that I know it's pretty big for the sport, and definitely got to thank everyone at Joe Gibbs Racing and Steve for giving me the opportunity. The discussions we had off season to come over and do this, and it's just it's a big deal.
Were you the one on the radio that said you just beat
Yes.
You're always welcome here, Ryan. All right, we'll go to Kenny, and then to Chris Knight and Jim Utter.
Kenny Bruce with NASCAR.com. Daniel, sort of along the lines of what Jessica was asking you about, we hear a lot about the NASCAR Next program and the Drive for Diversity. Without those types of programs, could you imagine yourself sitting here today?
Definitely, maybe not. It was pretty much everything. Between the NASCAR Next 9 program, the Drive for Diversity program that it was supported by Toyota, and actually something funny is that I have had support from Toyota since I was in Mexico. I want to thank David Wilson for all the great support and to believe in me, and it's just great to be here and to be part of this family. And like I said, I think without all the support from the Drive for Diversity, Toyota, and NASCAR Next 9, maybe right now I wouldn't be here right now, because in that point I didn't know which way, how to find the way to make it to the National Series. So it was definitely maybe one of the most difficult steps on my racing career, but all these programs helped me to make it to this point for sure.
What did you give up to go down that route as opposed to something else?
Well, I'm not sure. I'm not sure what I gave up to go to something else. Actually, the first year that I raced here in the U.S., I was with an independent team, and that wasn't good at all. I learned some stuff, but so many different mistakes. I feel like the people that was trying to help me were doing the right thing, but maybe I wasn't learning in the right way. And as soon as I moved to all these programs, everything started changing. And like I said, I'm super proud to have had all this support and to be able to make it to this point.
Okay, we'll go with Chris, Jim, Bob, and then we'll go back to the middle.
Chris Knight, XFinity.com. Congratulations, Daniel, on the win. You've been dreaming about this for a long time, and it's been a lot of buzz for a long time. Is the win everything that you thought it would be, everything that you dreamed it would be? And then have you talked to any members of your family?
No, I haven't talked to anyone. I'm sure that they are just like me without a voice. I can't wait to talk to them for sure. But definitely is the way that I dream it, that I was expecting to be. It was a little bit more dramatic with that, last lap pass. I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to make it, honestly. And Kyle drove me very, very clean. I think he couldn't give me a hard time, and he did it a little bit, but not a lot. So So he gave me a little break there because maybe he knew I was a little faster. Who knows? Maybe if he was going to try to be aggressive, maybe we were going to finish in the wall. Who knows? But I want to thank him for driving me clean and smart and just very proud of everyone. I have no words to describe what I'm feeling right now. Thank you.
Jim Utter, motorsport.com. Daniel, you mentioned Kyle. He's played a large role in your career up to now, but you also know from experience how good a driver he is, and particularly how strong he is in the Xfinity Series. Did it mean something a little extra special to get your first win by beating him this time?
Honestly, I have had a lot of things going through my mind right now, and I haven't think about that a lot. But definitely, it means a lot. But at the same time, a lot is the help that he's been bringing to the table to this program. Really, he's been super helpful to make this program better in the NASCAR Xfinity Series for Joe Gibbs Racing, and obviously we all worked to go to the same direction, but with the experience that he has and with the laps that he has in every single racetrack, obviously he brings a lot to the table. So we are in this point with thanks to a lot of help that he's been bringing to the table for sure. Thank you.
All right, we'll go to Bob here, back to the middle, and then over to Steve.
Bob Hockers, ESPN. Daniel, you talk about coming here 5 years ago, coming to the United States. What were your goals? What were your dreams when you made that move, and where did winning any NASCAR National Series race rank among those?
Well, my first goal was to learn English and then move from there because I wasn't able to communicate with anyone. And after that, I started to learn how to be a little fast on a race car, because everything that I came from in Mexico is a little different. Even when I raced NASCAR for a few years down in Mexico, the style of driving is just very different. The racetracks are from a different world. So it definitely helped me to learn the rules and a lot of stuff, but the real deal is here. So I started to learn a lot of new things once I moved to the U.S. and I feel like that helped me a lot. But definitely one of my dreams was to make it to the National Series. And actually, I'm not joking with it, but I was a huge fan of Joe Gibbs Racing. I was dreaming to be part of this organization one day, and 3 years and a half later, here we are.
All right, go back there, and then over to Steve.
Brian Eberly, RubbinsRacing.com. For Daniel, next week the series heads to Iowa Speedway for a standalone weekend. What's your outlook heading there? And then for Scott, did you have anything to say to Daniel on the radio after that pit road speeding penalty?
Drive hard.
Go ahead, Scott. You start.
Yeah, I mean, on the penalty, it happens. I mean, you're pushing pit road pretty hard. Everybody is, and I don't know. It's not the time to me, not the time to get on the driver and tell him what are you doing or so anything like that. I just tell him, look, it happened. It's over. Let's not do it again. We're going to be got a lot of time left in the race, and we got a really good car. So let's just keep that in mind and get going. And the next time, obviously, you come down pit road, and you remind them, all right, now don't go too fast this time. So it's and you could see, like he said, he went for 30 laps, didn't talk. I knew he was mad, and he was obviously driving really fast at that point. So you make up for it. And at the end of the day, if now things had gone the other way and we hadn't won, maybe we'd have a little more discussion about it afterward. But like I say, it's all a learning experience, and that's something you have to, and you see everybody do it. But you got to learn somehow, and I really don't. To me, it's not. You get critical times when it happens. You don't want it to happen, but it's all part of the learning process too.
Hey, Brian, could you repeat the first part of your question for Daniel?
Yeah, Daniel, just heading to Iowa Speedway next weekend for the standalone weekend. What are your thoughts heading to there?
Well, definitely I'm excited about Iowa. Iowa is one of the few racetracks that I've been racing for a few years now, since my K&N days. So definitely I think it's a good racetrack for me. I believe that I had my first pole. No, my first pole, it wasn't Daytona, but maybe my second pole in Iowa, and it's been a good racetrack for me, and we're going to do double duty in the trucks as well. So really looking forward for next weekend to have another solid run, to be strong running in the front, and hopefully we can carry this momentum for another victory.
Go ahead, Steve.
Daniel, can you talk a little bit about what happened with the clutch? When did that happen, and during the course of the race?
Well, we had a little issues during the practice, the first practice. We fixed it actually, and after that the clutch was fine for the second practice. You know, we thought that we fixed it, and that was it. Once we started the race, it was fine. I feel like when I was pumping the clutch, it was slowly coming to me. But in the second half of the race, the clutch was gone. I didn't have any clutch, so I knew that once I was in the racetrack, it was going to be fine. But I was a little concerned about my pit stops because really to leave the box, you need a clutch. So my pit crew, they did a really good job helping me to push the car, and I think somehow I figured out a way to just go high in the RPM and just throw the gear in there and try to not kill the transmission, but try to at the same time try to make the car go. Luckily, we had just 2 pit stops after that problem, and we were able to figure it out. But who knows? Maybe with another caution right there at the end, I'm not sure if I was going to be able to pit, because I knew that if I was pitting, it was going to be for sure that we were going to lose some positions. So I just think that the race, the entire race worked out pretty well for us and helped us a little bit to be here.